All right, we're ready to start, Eric.
Okay, well, I call the meeting order. Let's get it going. We have the roll call. Do you have everybody down?
All right, so I'll just do this just to make sure. Eric, you're here. Eva, you're here, right? Eva, can you hear me?
Okay, I put myself on mute. Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Stephen Barisic? No? Jen, right? You're here?
Yep, I'm here.
Jim, yes. Carl, yes. Sure. Jean Horn? I know she said she has trouble with Zoom. Beth, you're here. Bruce, you're here. Yeah. How about Cindy? Cindy said she was going to join. Cindy, are you there? No? Okay. Lee McGonigal? Tony Powell, you there? No. Tom, yes. Mitch, yes. And Bob, yes. So the other new person, we have a new appointment from Greenville. I invited him as well. Bud Bear from Greenville, but I don't know. He didn't reply, so I'm not sure if he'll be joining. So if you see some that appear, that's who that is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we got 10. So okay. So roll call, we're good.
Okay, would anybody like to make a motion to approve last month's meeting or have any questions about them?
It's June. No, June. Last month we didn't have a quorum. So this is June minutes we're approving, right?
Right. June. Yeah, this is Jen. I would make a motion to accept them. I didn't see anything that needed to change.
I'll second.
Can you just actually, it'd be helpful to me if you give your name when you second as I'm taking the notes, so because I can't see the screen and.
Paul Giangrande, second the motion.
All right, thank you.
Okay, this is Eric. All in favor, say aye.
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 Hi.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay.
Okay, go on to the next part of the agenda. I can't read much on my cell phone, so.
It's the education and training opportunities. There's not much going on in August, and there's really nothing. DOS or the SRA program is not doing any trainings in August or September, actually. The only one that's coming up, there is one being given on FEMA's National Floodplain Community Rating System. If I did send that around today, I can put it in notes. It's not till September 22nd. If anybody's interested in the flood rating program, community rating system that through the National Flood Insurance that FEMA administers. That's the only training. I also just wanted to note that the trainings that we did last month, in June, on short-term rentals and on use variances are both posted now. You can watch the live video on our planning website, the Greene County Planning website.
Oh, great.
Most people though don't, and we could discuss this, but usually like Department of State or anybody that offers recorded webinars does usually not offer credit for it. You usually have to attend, even like this FEMA webinar that's coming up on the 22nd, you have to actually attend the live webinar to get training credit for it. So we can discuss that more if we wanted to make it available for training credit. It's there more for educational purposes, but most webinars you have to attend live in order to receive training credit for it, but they are posted. And some people did inquire about that. So you do have to download them. It takes a couple of minutes. There's a button there, and thank you to Mark for his work for getting them posted on our website. But they are posted. And as well as I did a summary article on the short-term rentals. So that's on our website as well, a summary of the webinar. Basically the pros and cons of short-term rentals. That is also posted on the planning website. And the other, that's not really training, but a grant, there's technical assistance grants available through the National Heritage Area, through the Hudson Valley Greenway. If there are $4,000 grants and they're due October 19th, I could put some more information in the minutes about that. The design and prime funds for projects for the preservation of historic sites, museums or theaters, arts facilities, that type of thing. So that's all there is on education and training. Unless Jen, maybe this is a good time, Jen, if you wanted to talk a little bit about that training that you went to with the estuary program.
Headwater. Oh yeah, the headwater streams. I attended these webinar trainings on the headwater streams, and I found it really interesting if they offer it again. I knew it would be relevant to our area up here in Lexington because I know, well, actually I learned a lot that we do have quite a few of those headwater streams and how important they are to downstream fisheries, how important they are to downstream rivers, and these are little streams that kind of arise up in the mountains. It doesn't necessarily even have to be the mountains, actually, but they do contribute. It's where streams actually start, and for that beginnings of the streams. And they talked a lot about the importance of them and the regulations that are applied sometimes, how towns are dealing with this. I learned, for example, that a lot of these little headwater streams actually run right through towns. And a lot of times people don't recognize them because they might just see, oh, this nuisance little runoff thing where the town many years ago might have put in a concrete ditch or a concrete culvert to sort of manage this little stream. But what some towns are trying to do is actually turn those into assets where you could actually make it a pretty little stream in some cases. They talked a lot about the importance of them to invertebrate life and fisheries. There are some regulations, but what I decided for Lexington anyway, a lot of these are unnamed. They showed you how to find them on topographic maps. It's kind of what you would think, you can kind of see where the lines change in elevation in a way that might be a little stream. But a lot of towns are trying to put things like that into comprehensive plans. And so what I came away with is it's one thing, we're going to start to revise our comprehensive plan. And it's something I'm going to throw in there for people to consider, because up here where we are, I had no idea how many we have. And I realized I have one right on my property, and it runs right into the Schoharie. And in fact, there's some all along my street, my road up here. So it was good. The other thing I wanted to throw out is something I realized by going to this training that's possible now for training that we didn't have before, and it comes from just being able to do things by Zoom. And that is that you can divide the training up. So this was given instead of, like, you might go to the water summit, or the watershed summit that a lot of us go to, or you might go to, the training in Cairo, where you have to go for hours and hours in order to get your training. And it makes sense because you have to drive there, right? But when you on Zoom, what they did was they just had you go for an hour and a half a day for 4 days in a row. And it's kind of nice to break it up that way. And it's something that works now in the age of having these remote trainings versus, in COVID versus having to actually drive somewhere. So I thought I'd throw that out too, because when it breaks it up like that, it's a little bit easier to pay attention for longer, I think, at least for me. And we did have some issues, though, with the storm, because that big storm that knocked out power for a lot of people, some people got knocked out of the training and then, had to watch later, the recorded versions. And they said that was okay, if you couldn't tie in because of the storms, you were allowed to watch a recorded version, and they would still count the training. So
That was all done via, so I thought some of that was actually a field visit, but there was no field, it was all Zoom, it was all
Nope.
Zoom training?
it was actually, the way they did it as a field visit was actually a lot of slides of pictures. That's the way they did it.
Okay,
So we didn't actually go to a field visit, no.
Okay.
They might have planned that originally, but the way it worked was, you know, you saw a lot of pictures of things that to look for in the field. So, yeah, it was very good. Actually, I learned a lot, I have to say. I really didn't know what a headwater stream was. I sort of had a general idea, but I didn't know how important they were to the ecosystem. So,
sure, well,
Anyway.
I'll try to find the link to that once they have it posted and circulated again.
yeah, it was through
Get
Cornell,
credit.
and
Okay.
yeah.
Probably won't be able to get credit for it at this point, but again, it might be worth viewing some of it. But, or, you know, we could talk about that, whether people, you know, if we want to give credit, if people are willing to, you know, say that they watched an online webinar, a recording of it, and I'm open to talking about that. So,
Yeah, some of the regulatory things they talked about, you know, different towns and how they're trying to regulate and protect some of these. I mean, mainly it comes down to buffers, making sure, you know, you don't have runoff and pollution, you know, especially from cars or auto, you know, repair places running into these little streams. Or, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you want to watch out for, and making sure you have a wide enough buffer to protect some of these resources we have. So
any other feedback, or I'm sorry if Eric, I don't know where we're at. It's hard to watch.
Okay, well,
Okay.
yeah, I'm listening.
okay.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Well, it's like these headwater streams, they're surprising, some of them. I know, like, I believe it's out in Grand Gorge, one of the headwater streams for the Delaware actually starts there,
Yeah.
all the way down to Trenton and all in that area. So some of these are very important.
Yep.
And that's a lot of the same sort of things you get at the watershed summits to a certain extent, but it sounds like they did a good job.
Yeah, and Eric, that is what it reminded me of, the kind of thing you would learn at the Watershed Summit, you know, and yeah.
But yeah, hopefully sounds good. Like, it sounds like maybe it might be a good idea for us to get some of our credits if we can figure out how to do what Rich was just suggesting with the being able to watch it, even if it's a recorded one, and get the credits for it. But we'll have to figure that out.
Right, yeah, I mean, that's, like I said,
Right.
ordinarily, like, if you were to watch a Department of State recorded video, they're not going to send you a certificate. They just don't have no way to know if you watched it or not, so. But
Right.
if
This
one of you guys came to
actually
me and said,
has
I just watched a 2-hour webinar, I'm gonna believe you.
Yeah.
So, you know, so, but again, you know, it's a bit
Yeah.
on the honor system. But the important thing is, you know, to get the training. And for Kylie's sake, as you may know, planning board members are required to do at least a minimum of 4 hours of training a year, planning board related trainings. Encouraged to do more, but at least 4 hours a year are required. And most of it this year has been done virtually because every in-person conference or summit has been canceled for obvious reasons.
Yeah, that's made it difficult for people like me that are much more used to going and sitting and listening. A little bit.
You could do Zoom, Eric, you could do anything.
I'm technologically impaired somewhat.
That's a nice picture. Whoever that picture
Okay,
is.
I just got a notice, everybody, that the meeting is going to end in 10 minutes. So I'm going to have to restart it and send everybody a new meeting. Okay.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know why that happened. That had to be a change in Zoom. But
Oh no.
usually it lets you just start it and keep going, but it says it's going to end in 10. So I just wanted everybody to be aware.
So you're gonna send a
I
new
am
link?
not sure whether I'll be able to join. This is Eva. I have no access to my email that you normally send me stuff to.
Okay, let me just see if I can stop the share for a second and see if I can extend the time.